Hi guys, and welcome to Nico Does. This is Nico, and today we will be talking about Netflix. I'm going to do a stock and fundamental analysis and kind of outline why I am super bullish on Netflix, even though we are at near all-time highs. And the reasoning is quite simple, and I'm going to kind of go over a macro thesis and explain why. First thing I wanted to talk about was that Netflix, because of coronavirus, had super strong growth, more than double what management had expected. This obviously was expected given that the quarter ended March 31st, and starting March, everyone had to stay home because of COVID. And so people were bored, they wanted to be entertained, and it makes sense that why people would want to subscribe to a streaming service. Most of the new subscriber additions actually came from their international segment, which also makes sense because Canada and the United States is already a very saturated market. One that even I think it was 2 quarters ago saw a net loss in subscription. Internationally is really where the growth potential lies with this company. Right now, they almost have 200 million subscribers. In the next few years, Netflix thinks that they can get 100 million subscribers in India alone. So that alone would be 50% more than their current levels of subscribers. But the reason why I'm bullish in the short term is more because I'm taking a look at what has been going on. And for that, I just wanted to look at the calendar. So I'm going to bring up the calendar here. And so most of the United States actually started quarantining on March 13th, March 14th. So that was the end of the second week of March. The rest of the world started quarantining after that point. Most of the rest of the world. And for the amount of subscriber additions that we saw from the last earnings report, which was double what they expected, I think that trend was not really captured in the March 31st financial reports. Because if you look at it, so say we had one, two, the United States and Canada, we had 1, 2, 3, so 3.5 weeks of accelerated growth. But if you look internationally, kind of put an international perspective on it, India, for instance, started closing on March 24th. You know, South Africa went into lockdown March 26th. So that is at the end of March. So, I really don't think that the amount of subscribers that have been added has been reflected accurately. And that's why I'm super bullish on the stock. And now if we look at the chart, you could see pre-coronavirus, we were at a level of 395, and that kind of ended an extension that started from the prior year in the late August, early September. The reason for that fall was because at that time, there were many other streaming platforms that were going to come to market. Some of those were Disney Plus, which has been very successful thus far, Peacock, Apple TV, and HBO Max. The idea was that these streaming services all coming to market at a similar time could dismantle Netflix's throne, and they can make Netflix not be the front runner in the streaming service providing space. And that resulted in a considerable fall. So that was over here, and it continued this bearish extension. So that was it from the 380 levels going down all the way to the 250 levels. But then that kind of gave a lot of base support at that level, and then he started to tick up again. And that's where we were left off pre-coronavirus. When coronavirus happened, the whole entire market took a huge hit. We really saw a huge capitulation around this period of time. And it was, of course, undue because, obviously Netflix would have been a benefactor of coronavirus, of people staying at home. So given that that was the case, people realized that pretty swiftly, and the stock resumed its bullish extension, and that really carried through all the way up until May 20th, May 19th. And at this point, we had two things going on. We had a lot of news in the US about the country reopening up. That was the first thing. And the second thing was HBO Max finally launched, which was a fail in my opinion, but that's for another conversation. So those two reasons were a catalyst for a short-term pullback in the price. But nevertheless, the price did find support at the 420 level shown by the 20-day moving average line. And if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that a lot more clearly as the price kind of hit this, it dropped below it, got bought back up, and then it settled above on the third day of being below on that price. It closed above that moving average line, and today it went to break ground on the 7-day moving average line, and I can suspect that in the next few days that line will be broken probably with high volume, and that bullish extension will continue through what will be the next earnings report in July. So I have a price target right now of 520, so I'm placing my bets that by July or August, the price would be at least above 500. So those are kind of the reasons why I'm bullish on Netflix. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more. Thank you.